The whole aim of the coup was to halt this apparent drift in Nigeria. But significantly, you know what they wanted to do? To create a presidential commission of army officers as a safeguard to the people who would guard the nation and hand over government to Chief Obafemi Awolowo. The idea was to release him from prison, make him prime minister, and in the hope that Nigeria would become a better place. That is actually how.
So it was really the Yorubas and their leader that were going to benefit.
Oh, absolutely.
From the coup, not the insinuation that it was an evil coup.
No, certainly not.
Okay.
Certainly.
Your Excellency, we have
And not only that, and I think because a lot of things have been said about this. Who actually halted the coup? Aguiyi Ironsi in Lagos, an Igbo. Emeka Ojukwu in Kano, an Igbo. The Igbos halted the coup. How can it be at the same time an Igbo coup halted by Igbos? There's something odd about that.
Thank you, Your Excellency. The next question is, on May 29th, July 29th, September 29th, 1966, genocide was committed against the Igbos. Will you let the world, through this medium, know the extent of this genocide? We know you established the Ojukwu Commission that looked into these genocidal acts. What were his findings, some of them that you can let the world know?
Well, that's no doubt. I mean, the findings, the report.
Okay, the report.
The report is available, can be bought by anyone. It's been circulated all over Nigeria. It's not hidden. The first massacre of Igbos in the north, we could, in that report, it was stated that the first coup was 50,000. Then, later in the same year, the universal massacre that took place across the whole of Nigeria, including the north and parts of the west, we're talking in terms of 700,000 killed. So if it's figures we're looking into, certainly they were very heavy. But when we're talking of genocide, it's intent that really matters. What was the aim of that? And it was very simple, and the language might make people shudder or remember. It was to impose the final solution to the Igbo problem in Nigeria. That is, when there are no more Igbos in Nigeria, then there will be no problem. I think if one thinks back, sometime you will know who used that term, referring to who.
Was the element of religion involved?
There are three areas that came together. There was certainly the ethnic one. There was at the same time the political one side. And when I say political, that is the search for power in the federation. And certainly the third was religious. The North used Islam. Almost the same sort of thing that we're witnessing in Europe today. Might you take this opportunity to state very clearly the solidarity of Igbo, that is the Igbo people, with the United States government in the events of September 11th. Naturally, we feel with America, and I am personally proud of our solidarity. All we say is this is an extension of that for which we have suffered, are suffering, and will continue to suffer if the world does not come to our aid. We pray that somehow the United States gets out of this. We are sure anyway that she will vanquish the enemy. But I would like her also to remember that in her pain, we showed solidarity.
Yeah, that's AZ was speaking on behalf of all Igbos everywhere. The sympathy is with the United States because of the events of September 11, 2001. The final question, we have about 2 minutes, Your Excellency. When the Igbos, through the Consultative Assembly, mandated you to declare the Igbo land the sovereign and independent state of Biafra, Nigeria declared war on the young republic. Why would we call this war the war of genocide? The world would like to know again through this medium why the war was called war of genocide against the Igbos.
The word genocide is so large in its meaning that even when you're staring it in the face, very often you hesitate about using the term. But actually the Biafran problem was nothing except being genocidal. There was no distinction. The mere fact that you were an Easterner in those days labeled you fit only for one thing: death, and death at the hands of the Nigerian authorities. The Igbos and their associates were killed in practically every village in northern Nigeria. They were killed in many places in western Nigeria. They were in Lagos, even on Kata Bridge, the very center of Lagos. People were looked at and thought, oh, this looked an Igbo, and killed. The very first army officer killed in Lagos, actually, during that time was from Calabar. Was killed on the bridge, and so on. Igbos were being hunted out and killed. The Igbos that remained in Lagos after the war began were herded together and detained without any trial or anything, no question of any legal rights. Till today, property of Igbos are still sequestered in various areas of Nigeria, and they have not been released, not all of them, to the Igbos, the original owners. Oh no, we're quite certain. In fact, the only reason it is not called or not accepted as genocidal is because of the Cold War. At that time, anything ethnic-based was almost like an insult to humanity. And ethnicity became a term of abuse in politics, that's all. If it were today, certainly, what happened in Nigeria is much, much worse than what you have seen of Rwanda, not to talk about Eastern Europe.
Your Excellency, we have come to the end of the program. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the enlightenment. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for watching African Affairs.